Today I'm gonna take you along our evening chores and show you exactly what our night routines with our animals looks right now. Compared to spring and summer, it is definitely simpler in the winter since we don't have as many animals and different coops for breeding groups, chicks and so on. We still have many different animals, so there is always something happening. Before we start, a quick disclaimer. You will mostly see my mom doing the chores because she cares for most our animals. As I started university recently, I'm only home from Friday to Sunday. During this time, I of course care of all my animals, the quails and the birds, and help out a bit with the other animals, depending on what needs to be done. But the rest of the week, my mom handles all the animals. My mom usually starts the nighttime chores at around 4 to 4:30 pm. And the first step is to separate our two milk sheep from the flock for the night. This is so that they can be milked in the morning and then will be with the lambs the rest of the day.
Milka, Milka. Come, Milka. Come. Milka.
As you can see, they are already used to that and come inside when their name is called. During this, the ducks are normally still out in their enclosure. We have a hose to their small pool, and currently it needs to be running all day to not freeze and also to keep the pool free from ice. So I just get the hose and drag it to the sheep's pasture to refill the water. This is way easier than to carry the water buckets uphill from the garage sink. It is also not a waste to keep the water running, since we have our own well, which gives us way more water than we need, and all the excess is running into a small creek anyways. One of our milk sheep always has to know what is going on when someone is there. Next, it is time to fill up all the sheep's hay nets. Because we have so many sheep right now, we go through a lot of hay. Just this morning, my mom and dad picked up these new hay bales. You might have noticed we still have the sheep that I mentioned we would be selling in one of my last videos, and so that we wouldn't have that many. We had already had set up a date with the buyer to pick them up, but for some reason he cancelled. So we will see if he still buys them or if we have to find someone else. Then my mom briefly checks the lamb's eyelids. This is to see if they turned a bit pale, which would indicate a problem with worms, but so far all our lambs are alright. After bringing the milk sheep their water bucket, which had been filled up by now, and hanging the last hay net, the sheep have all they need for the night.
Nein. So ist es nicht ausgemacht.
What's funny is that we also tried putting the lambs in the separate section and leave the milk sheep outside with the others. The lambs would always manage to escape over the fence, but for some reason they have not yet found out this works the other way as well, and they could just easily get inside if they wanted to. Just look how close they are when eating from the hay nets. By now, the ducks already went into their coop and I just helped guide the last drake in as well. There's not much snow anymore, and this is the kinda sad rest of a snowman for my siblings. My mom had to catch a hen which broke out of their enclosure and was picking in the bones which were left over from making soup. These are actually there for the cats.
Die Haxen von seiner Geschwister auffressen.
Then we went looking for eggs and I fed the guinea pigs and rabbits some kitchen scraps. Dwarf chicken are known for their distinct breeding instinct, so ours even want to breed in the winter and wouldn't let anything dissuade them from it.
Wollen die da brüten? Sicher, ganzen Winter. Von der schiefen Seite brauchst du das nicht filmen.
Ja, so ist es ja dumm dran.
Kriegt ja nichts, du weißt nicht, dass du sie umdrehen musst.
Aber sie tut so, als Sarah so sehen. The turkeys still have everything they need from the morning, and the guinea pigs and rabbits get vegetable scraps and some grains. After that, the only thing left is to check on my quails. As I said, normally I do this alone on the weekends, but since we already did everything together, we decided to do this together as well today.
Kriegt sicher Kupferstück.
Er frisst den, ja.
Nein, für die streiten.
Das weiß ich nicht, ob die streiten oder ob die.
Das war mein Platz, mein Platz. Weg, mein Platz.
In my inner aviary, I check the food and water of the finches and quails, and also collect eggs. This evening, it was just one from my Bob White hen. Oh, geändert. Das ist egal. While my mom took some wood for our stove inside, I also checked the outside aviary. Here I have quails and 2 cockatiels. I always have to take a close look at their food because they only eat the inside of the grains and leave the empty seed husks in the bowl. Today everything was fine and I didn't have to refill anything. So this is our typical night routine with our animals. If you have animals as well, you're welcome to share yours in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye bye.